welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
I'm Emilio. Let's get the show on the road.
How's your sewage situation? Is it fixed yet?
Yeah, did I not?
Yeah, you talked about it last week.
Yeah, I talked about it. Yeah, it was.
It's completely fixed. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Everything's all good, man. I've been shitting freely, dude. It's been fantastic. Because earlier,
shitting, it's not ending up in my front yard. It's great time.
Yeah. I could send it down the toilet without having to see it again. It's great.
That's great.
Yeah,
it's always nice.
So what's on the radar for you guys this week?
Yeah, let's get right into it. A couple of big announcements recently. So we knew that Concerned Ape, the creator of Stardew Valley, was working on a new game, and he was going to be releasing details soon. And he just released some this week. The game is called Haunted Chocolatier, and he released a 2-minute gameplay trailer. Well, a 2-minute trailer with a lot of gameplay in it. And the game is identical graphically to Stardew Valley. I mean, you'd look at it and you'd think, oh, this looks like a Stardew Valley mod, almost.
Yeah.
But he has described it as you're running a chocolate shop, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite Willy Wonka, but I'm wondering if it's one of those shopkeeper games, like what was that game, Moonlighter?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like that. I don't know. He says it's not fully it's not feature complete yet. Like all the parts of the games are not quite there, but you can tell like the combat looks just like Stardew Valley. You can, gift things to people apparently, and the little heart pops up just like Stardew Valley. So it looks like it's going to be very similar to that game, but in a new world and probably a different gameplay loop.
Why not, dude?
Yeah. Do you think he? I think he probably did this just to save himself so much time, like having to build a new engine or anything. Like he's just like, fuck it, might as well use the same Stardew Valley engine and everything, and just and some of the assets and some of the colors and everything just to save time. But when one of my friends linked this to me, I was like, dude, isn't this just like Stardew Valley with extra steps or like combat? Because
there's combat in Stardew Valley.
Yeah,
Well, when you go down into the mines, it's a big part of the game actually because you get a lot of stuff down in the mines. But yeah, there's combat in it. With Moonlighter, that was like kind of half the game. You go out there, you fight in this dungeon, you collect a bunch of rewards depending on how good you do, and then you bring that and you set up your shop there. But I don't know if this is going to be one of those. I don't know what they call that genre, but I've played a few games in it, the shopkeep games.
I don't think it's a genre, dude. I think that's the only one that ever did it that way.
No, you bought me a game that was the exact same thing, but not as good, but the game was like 10 years older. I can't remember.
But you go out and fight to get the stuff?
Yeah, you go out, you fight, you grab stuff, you bring it back to your shop, and you try to sell it.
There's shopkeeper games where all you're doing is you're the shopkeeper. You have to
you literally like make potions and then
sell
shit,
make potions,
or you just sell shit.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, because it's the one dude, I'm sure he has help now, but like he saved himself 50% of production just because he used the same engine or a similar engine.
Oh yeah, he's got a lot of the assets there. And
and I don't find anything wrong with that at all.
Neither do I.
Yeah, and the graphics. It's not about the graphics. It's about gameplay. That's what made it a massive, massive success. So I hope it works out for him. He needs some money. What do you think his bank account's looking like? What do you like? What do you? How much money did he actually profit from Stardew Valley?
A lot. They talked about that in the book, Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, when he interviewed him. He was ridiculously rich after that, but it was talking about how he still, what happens with people like that, they still kind of live their same lifestyle. It talked about how he was still driving the same old beat up car, even though he had like millions of dollars sitting in the bank account. That game, I mean, you can see how many copies that game sold. I mean, it sold a ton of copies. So I'm sure he's doing very well.
He's got something on there. 34 million. Is that what the game? I can't read that little writing.
It says his net worth is estimated at 34 million.
Yeah, good for him.
Damn, good for him, man.
Wow.
That's someone who really fucking did all that shit by himself.
Changed his name to Bobby Bottle Service, dude.
Bobby Bottle Service. Haven't heard that name in a while.
I only heard it from you, dude. Like, I think you played the video once. Or no.
Geez.
Probably.
You just brought it up.
Well, it was a character that Nick Kroll did
Yeah.
for a long time. And then on his show, Kroll Show, he had this ad that was Bobby Bottle Service, full service wedding service about his videography company.
Did it hit home a little bit?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Okay, so Steam is having some like tabletop event.
Oh, yeah, like that tabletop RPG thing.
Yeah, tabletop RPG thing. And basically what all these events mean usually is, you know, everything within the category is being live streamed. And if it's not being and it's all scheduled. And if it's already happened, then you can watch the whole live stream, you know, post. And you know, a lot of times the developers talking about it or whatever, or they got like some streamer to play it or whatever. Anyway, so they're pushing all this right now, and I found something I really liked. It's called Stolen Realm. So I was going through my fucking my queue, and it was the last thing on my queue. And Luna loves smashing my keyboard, and she closed Steam, and I could not find. I thought it was Stone Realm. So I'm fucking searching for this thing for 10 goddamn minutes. And then I realized I just have to I'm going to have to just scroll, like go into the category and just look for it. Yeah, so it took me about 10 minutes.
But you knew the word realm. You didn't
no, I didn't know realm.
Oh,
I thought it was stone.
Couldn't you just look at your browsing history on Steam? Isn't there a database of that?
I don't know.
I don't know if
rather
there
just
is.
click through.
Because doesn't every single page have its own URL?
No, because I was on the browser. I mean, I was on the UI.
Yeah, so it probably just flashed by. I didn't actually go to the page.
Yeah, I'm done.
Anyway, so graphically, it looks a lot like For the King, maybe a little more pulled out than that. Very minimalist graphics, I guess, but everything you need. Like it's not something I would complain about because of the gameplay and how it looked. So I watched a live stream of it. 4 people were playing at the same time. You could have up to 6. And what it seems to me, from what I saw, I watched for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It seems to be like a tactical turn-based, kind of like Divinity, but it doesn't take as long. It's more like action-based. I think that everybody at the same time puts in what they're going to do. And then as soon as it has all the inputs, then it plays it out.
It then plays it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people and at the end of it, it looks like it's almost like, because it's happening so quick, it almost seems like real time. But then they'll stop and be like, "Dude, do you want me to do this or do you want me to do that?" And then the characters are all, you know, your archetypes, your ranger, your mage, all that stuff. But they were talking about dual classing and stuff. So it's got depth and it's got action. I think it's lacking story. I don't think that was the main selling point here. And that's fine with me. Like, fucking, I just skipped through all that shit anyway. So it's just like, it's dungeon delving, looting, all the great stuff that you want from an RPG, and multiplayer. Like, I'm like, what the fuck?
So it's a 6-player co-op.
Yeah, 6-player co-op. I'm fucking super into this idea.
That's a lot of co-op.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm digging it.
So the game is available right now. It's about $20.
Mm-hmm. What are the reviews
$17.99.
again? What percentage is it at? Not a lot of people own it.
Yeah, they're high, but only 85 reviews.
Yeah, only 85. Wait till the DLG bump. But 91%. Out of those 85. Those 85 people could just be friends and family, by the way. So be careful, man. Be careful. But yeah, I liked what I saw, for sure.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. I think games like this, especially ones that are getting like public eye, have the chance of like doing really cool, like really well, especially if they kind of share a little bit of similarities like with For the King. So, man, you never know. It might fucking just skyrocket. So.
And October 14th, it just came out. It's been out for 10 days, so
yeah.
take a look at it, guys. It's called Forgotten Realm.
Stolen
Realm.
Stolen Realms. Forgotten in your memory. Jesus Christ. As far as what's on my radar, I got something kind of spoiled for me from a website that is known for spoilers. So there is a website known as Mtg Spoiler, and it's a website that specifically um, shows you cards from the next set based off of like leaks and things like that. So I was like, fuck it, I'll take a look, see what new cards are coming out in the new set. It'd be pretty cool. Well, it turns out that for the first time in a long time, we are getting in Magic 2 sets from the same area. So the newest set is going to be called Innistrad Crimson Vow. And so we're going to be staying in Innistrad, which is the werewolfy vampire zombie place. But this half of the set is going to be focused around vampires. And so yeah, I thought that was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, they fucking killed it with this set, so why not just expand on it?
Yeah. The thing that everybody's perking up for after this though is Kamigawa. For those who do know and don't know, Kamigawa is one of the most controversial sets ever in Magic the Gathering history. It's the set that they decided to reveal the Japanese pantheon of Shinto and other Japanese religions as cards, and also like samurai and Bushido, like symbolism and stuff like that, as cards. And that didn't really go too well. A lot of Japanese people got angry. A lot of people in the West got angry. And it was one of the most ill-received sets. In surprise of everybody, the set after this new one, the first set of 2022, will be Kamigawa Neon Genesis.
Yeah, you said it was like cyberpunk or something, right?
Yeah, so everybody's like, "Oh, this is weird."
Well, they'll probably just stay away from all that stuff. I remember in Smite, they got some heat because in Smite you're playing as gods in different pantheons, and some of those religions are still strong,
active.
Active, especially the Hindu religion. Hindu, right?
Hindu,
so you play as God, what's it, Kali? And Kali's like this like sexy 6-armed chick with big tits, but like if you look at religious depictions of her, it's she's not sexy and in a bikini. So they got some heat for that too, but I don't know. I don't think it affects purchases that much.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty interesting once we get to the point of seeing what will happen compared to what has happened. I think they're going to go completely different route. I think they're going to have a lot of the mechanics with the ninjutsu and stuff like that, but I'm just happy that they're going to be doing a bunch of cool shit with a bunch of different IP, like Lord of the Rings, and some other ones. So yeah, it's going to be pretty fucking awesome.
Hey Nick, so I completed the mastery tree. When you put those little gems in the thing, and it says that this is gonna this tree like expires in 14 days. I just finished it today. Does that mean that this new set's gonna be out in 14 days?
Yep.
Oh,
the pre-release on Magic the Gathering Arena is actually earlier than it is in real life, and so the newest set will be out in Magic the Gathering Arena before paper version is out. So in 14 days, either 14 or 15, I don't know if they have a day buffer or not, but in 14 days they will 14 or 15 days, the new set, the Innistrad Crimson Vow, will be out.
And speaking of which, I just won a draft today. I went 6 victories, and I made a vampire deck, and it worked pretty well.
Yeah, I'm ready for some new cards.
Yeah, vampires are already strong, so we'll see what happens. All right, cool.
All right. A couple episodes ago, I mentioned Darkest Dungeon 2 was coming out, but I didn't know the release date. And somebody had made a comment on our YouTube channel saying that it was October 26th. And I feel like I knew that, but had forgotten it. But yes, the release date of Darkest Dungeon 2 is October 26th, the day that this episode is coming out.
That is the early access release date, by the way.
Okay, and that it's only on Epic Games. Yeah,
Yes.
and they've recently released a trailer that shows off a lot of the gameplay that they were describing, and it looks absolutely beautiful. It's the same type of illustrations, but to see them in motion when the cart is moving at that angle, I don't know. There's something. It just seems so fluid and alive. Like it just looks so different than what I'm used to. All that 2D stuff. So it looks really cool. I'm excited about it. I really like how they're doing more of an Oregon Trail type game, roguelike, where you have one set of characters that go on a very long journey, and it's about managing just the gear of those characters and but it's still going to have that same great gameplay with the turn-based combat.
Fuck yeah,
and it looks
dude.
like a lot of the same characters. The animations just look so incredible to me to see the characters move like that, because they don't really move a whole lot. It's very static in the first Darkest Dungeon.
And even when they quote unquote do move in the other game, it's like instantaneous. Like when they attack, like it's one animation that's like a wind up, and then it's the after animation where it's where they've swung already.
Yeah, it's like 5 frames, maybe the whole animation. And now
it's very flat and 2-dimensional. Yeah. This has some depth to it.
It looks really so good. It looks so good. Bobby, is this a day one purchase on Epic Games?
On Epic Games?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see. It
I don't know. Fuck you, Bobby.
What's it gonna
you know what? I'm calling it right. I'm calling it right now.
What's
this game is going to be the game of the weeks. All right.
Yeah.
It's going to be game of the weeks because no one cares about the game that we're playing right now, and it's going to be scoped for the game of the weeks. It's going to be game of the weeks for the next 2 weeks. We're going to come back. And we're going to play it. Bobby's going to be beating it like 6 times. He's going to be like, I discovered all the extra fucking super characters and secret characters. I got the Abomination. He's that weird guy named Craig that scares everybody. Because last time we fucking talked about this game, we were like, who the fuck is that guy? He looks super cool. And he's like, oh, that guy's just the Abomination. And it was just like some character we've never seen before.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I am excited about this game, but I've got 2 other games that I've been meaning to play too. Eternal Cylinder, which I haven't got too far in. I know I said I was going to play that this week, but I just didn't have a whole lot of time, and I ended up playing a lot more Back for Blood than I thought I would. Actually, I kind of knew I was going to play more of that. And also Dark Side Detective, the second season of that had come out too. So I've got a lot of things on my plate here, like going on. So yeah, Darkest Dungeon 2 at some point.
But Eternal Cylinder is also on Epic Games, right? Only?
Yes.
Yeah. They're going to get your money, Bobby. They're going to get it.
From Epic Games. It's all right. They gave me a ton of free games, which I actually play. Yeah. I actually play the free games, which...
What's the Darkest Dungeon price?
What is the price?
Good fucking...
I don't know. The original Darkest Dungeon...
Doesn't matter. He's willing to fucking... He's going to throw money at this one.
Well, the first one was what? $20, $25? Somewhere right around there?
I believe it was 20, and then it went up to 25 at full release. And they were the first game that did that, and we were like, that's the move. Small complaint already is that, like, they were one of the shining examples of doing early access correctly. Like, they fucking killed it. Like, looked very cool at the beginning. That drew interest, got a little bit of money, put that in production, and they did that for, like, 2 years. And then eventually it came out, and everybody loved it, and... You know, it was one of the few real DRG is up there too. Did an awesome job of it. But now I feel like you have the money. I hope you have the money to do just a full release on part 2. You know,
I mean, who knows why they do that? It could be a time thing. I don't know. Maybe we could interview Chris Barassa again and ask him why.
Why, dude? Why, Jacob? Why'd you do it?
I don't know if he'd agree to do that again.
Just tell him that I'm on the show and I'm not a drunk like that will completely babble.
I'm sure he doesn't even remember us.
He just has a picture of Emilio and Chad on the wall. These guys, fuck these guys. I'm never doing it.
And if he does, he'd be very surprised to see that we're still around doing what we're doing.
Whoa.
You guys haven't been canceled yet? What the fuck?
Why do I have these people friends on Skype? So Inscryption, Bobby, you brought this up a few weeks ago. But I'm going to do my hot take on it. I wanted to bring it up because this is the runaway freight train of card games recently. I think it's at like 11,000 purchases. Oh, I'm off. 7,000 purchases, overwhelmingly positive, 95%. It's described as a horror card game, and so I was like, I really want to understand this before I started talking about it. So I watched a good amount of gameplay, and so the card game itself seems pretty simple. I think it gets more and more complex as you go, and that's what you want out of a game. But there's only 4 lanes. Think of it kind of like Magic, but you pick a lane and you try to make damage go the other way and not your way. You don't have health meters. There's a scale balance. So if somebody is losing big time, if they have a really good round, they can basically get all their health back because the scales are just tilting all the time. You don't have this like finite amount of health. You can gain it back. And the game is super creepy. And it goes through different iterations. So the first game you play is kind of like cabin in the woods type thing. You play a bunch of creepy against this creepy players. And the cards are like cats and rats and squirrels and stuff. And then at some point, like the game changes and there's this guy opening these packs of these cards like they were magic cards, and he does a video and he's like, oh, here I got a rare and stuff. And then, obviously things get weird at a certain point. And then you go into this kind of like Zelda or Final Fantasy game. And you're like going around in the village and going from door to door. And then you play in those graphics, those like 8-bit graphics of Final Fantasy. And then you keep playing and I guess you beat that. And then you go into some like holographic graphics. And you're in some creepy fucking techno. And the whole thing's creepy all the way through. But it reminds me of Evoland, Bobby, you remember that? Evoland 1 and 2? When you play Evoland, like you start off in 8-bit, you graduate to 16, 32, 64, and then you go into modern graphics, I guess, at the time. You go through all these things, and that's what it seems like in this game. You play like in the cabin, then you play like a video game version, and then you play like a futuristic version. And the whole thing's creepy all the way through. And at 95%, I think that the gameplay loop is probably super strong. Not only is there, deck building, card removing, but there's like cards where you upgrade cards, but there's also the combining of cards. You could sacrifice one card and put its essence into another card. So.
So like crafting them.
They're like, yeah.
To create new cards?
To create new cards, yeah. So I imagine the replay value is crazy. So, and some of the cards talk to you as you're playing, which is odd. But yeah, runaway success. And congrats to, again, another Devolver Digital game that I'm going to buy.
Is that like a group of developers, or is that just one team?
That's a publisher. Yeah,
okay.
But they are great, fantastic at handpicking and supporting these games and blowing them up. Like, yeah, like I've said it a million times. Whoever it is that their scout that goes out and fields these games, whoever that is like another me in another chair. Because I've liked almost every single game that they've published. Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
It's weird too.
Yeah,
it's like
they're pretty...
I wish somebody like, why do you need a publisher anymore? You're just a guy. You put your game. Is it because they advertise you more? Can you elaborate here?
Publishers for money? I don't know.
Pretty long answer to that
question
that we're probably not qualified.
Christopher is. He's in the field.
2 cents to answer there, Sniper.
Yeah. A publisher helps with a lot of stuff. of promotion, so the developer can focus on making the game as good as possible. Really good for small teams, publishers.
Yeah,
and Devolver is an excellent example of that.
Yeah, more now it's more promotion, but back in the day it was the only way to get a game out. Now it's more about promotion, I imagine. All right, cool.
Well, I imagine they handle a lot of distribution as well. You know, I mean, you can put it on Steam, sure, but there's probably other things that they do in regards to that, especially in other parts of the world. Anyway, Killing Floor 2 has an update, as they always do for Halloween. It's called Day of the Zed. I have not played it yet. Probably going to check it out this week because, you know, I like this game. I always like coming back to it and just seeing what's new. You know, they always put on the fun little Halloween skins. Looks like you got mummies and pharaohs in this one. New weapons, a new map or two. So yeah, just more on that next week. Just wanted to shout that out, and because I know we got a lot of people on Discord that play this game as well. So if you want to play some, Friday's the day.
Can we see the active player list for this game?
For Killing Floor 2?
I feel like it's in the 5 digits.
I want to say it's usually around like 5,000.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, 4,000 playing right now. Today's peak was about 6,000. So
okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of people that play this game consistently, and then there's a lot of people like me who come back to it consistently. And similar to that, Deep Rock Galactic has their Halloween event called Deep Rock Galactic. I'm surprised. I'm surprised it took them this long to come up with that pun. Nothing major here, but I always look for any excuse to go back to this game. They've got. I do want to say they have an outstanding new mask that you have until November 1st to get. There's two helmets that you can get in that time from doing a quest line. One is a little tiny pickaxe poking in your head and a little blood spurting out. Pretty graphic for a game like this, honestly. But the other one is the Creature from the Black Lagoon helmet, which is really cool. Yeah, I like that one. So definitely hop in there and pick that up. But the real news with Deep Rock Galactic here is October 26th at 13 o'clock CEST time, whatever that is. They're going to be doing a big premiere for their new update. And this is the biggest update they've ever had. All sorts of things. Yeah. Yeah. They always say that too. And it's always the case because they get bigger and bigger here. But yeah, huge stuff coming. All the new guns, the new game mode. Like, it's going to be crazy. So I don't know. I got to figure out what 1,300 hours CEST time is. And I'm sure I won't be able to catch that live because it'll probably be in the middle of the night for us over here on Pacific Standard. They've teased a lot of stuff in videos, and they've shown off some of the guns as well, and that have been playable in the PTRs or whatever. But I'm excited to see what they got in this new premiere event here, because they always deliver. You know, it's never disappointing, and I'm always looking for an excuse to get back into this game. And I did play a little bit of it this week, but I mean, it's just the same old stuff, you know. Just love going back to this game. All right, here we go. CEST. So 1 p.m. is going to be 4 a.m. our time.
You'll be up for that.
Yeah. I mean, that's about when I wake up.
Is it really?
Jesus.
No, like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
But I could do 4. Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Nick, Binding of Isaac, did it finally come to PlayStation, dude?
No, not yet. Apparently, the big old hubbub about that is the Switch being a problem. The new version of the Switch is causing issues. For those who don't know, the Switch LCD or Switch LED came out, where it's like the updated version of the Switch, and it's causing some problems with Binding of Isaac coming to consoles. And so they're like, "Oh, the beginning of 2022 is going to come out." Whatever. But we're still playing on PlayStation.
I was watching a live stream of this. What is it called? Repentance, right?
Yeah, Repentance, the newest one.
I watched a live stream before it came out, and they're like, "Why can we play Breath of the Wild, but we can't play Binding of Isaac on on Switch.
It's so weird, dude. Because like, I have a PS5 and I can play Gran Turismo, right, when it comes out, and that's obviously a way more graphically intense game, and it's like intensely beautiful and everything. But Binding of Isaac, which is nothing but like a whatever fucking 32-bit looking game or whatever the fuck, and it literally will get down to like 15 frames if you break the game sometimes.
Yeah, it's true.
And like
the particle physics.
Even on the nicest computer, it happens, and I think it's just like an engine thing.
I don't think it's an engine thing, dude. Like, so like when you have those shit bombs and blows up and there's shit mist everywhere.
Yeah,
like that's just that alone will make the Switch fucking take a nap right there, and there's just so many particles floating in the air. Because the real particles, it's not like just a veneer that they put on. I don't know why they do it that way, but that's the way they do it.
Well, the other thing is like there's that spell that that spell. there's that thing where like when you shoot, your tears look like a little Kamehameha wave, and so they look like a little tuft of air. But if you have like anything that makes you shoot multiple of those, whatever you're playing on will just turn into a potato. And like it's so weird because like, dude, I played Binding of Isaac on like really nice computers, and I've seen like just the game go to complete shit whenever you break the game. And in the past week, I've broken the game like 3 times.
So even on PC, no matter what platform it does,
I've never had a problem on a PC.
Really? Because
I
have.
I've got more hours logged than you do, I think, too.
You probably do, actually, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, well, when the Steam Deck comes out, we won't have to worry about all this Switch nonsense, will we, though?
Yeah, I already sold my Switch.
On the Switch, too. It's the worst fucking part.
I sold my Switch in preparation for the Steam Deck.
When are those coming out? January?
I might be hopeful wishing, but I could have sworn that December.
Well, it's different for everyone depending on when
right. I think mine says that I'm going to get it in December.
Okay, yeah, I think the people who jumped right on it are December, and then if you waited like a week, it might be January.
And it's perfect, dude, because I'm starting nights again in December, and I got 3 or 4 hours a night to play. My reviews are going to go from 2 hours to 3 hours, folks. So you just buckle up. Just buckle up. You ain't ready for this.
Wow.
Yeah. So Back for Blood. Should we talk about it?
Yeah, it's on both your guys' lists.
Yep. So I knew I was going to play more Back for Blood, and I wasn't sure where I was at with the game after last week. A lot of the problems that I was having last week have cleared up. I have no problem getting into games, even hosting my own games and getting people to join, although I had a hell of a time getting past a certain mission on Veteran. With randos or with groups, because we played together on Friday.
Yeah, but Bobby, you were like a drill sergeant sending fucking fresh recruits into enemy fire. Like, we didn't know what we were doing. I was like, what's a card?
You guys wanted to play on Veteran.
No, we did not, dude.
Well, okay. Well, the night was split up into 2 segments, really. We started, I think, early afternoon playing on Veteran, and yeah, that didn't go well at all. We spent like hours maybe playing on Veteran and got no supply points because we could never finish the mission. Then later in the night, I hopped back on and people were playing again, and we started just playing on Recruit, and it was a lot easier. Well, at least for me, you guys were struggling a little bit. People were getting a little tipsy. And,
but we were having a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we were having a lot of laughs.
Yes.
But we were making a ton of supply points at that point. So, it's. I think I've got a better understanding of the game now, especially after today. So after today, I got into a group of a couple of people who are very experienced, and we got through a bunch of maps on Veteran. And these guys, of course, had all the cards, and it was a lot easier for them. But a lot of people, including myself, went into this game expecting the Left 4 Dead AI director. So you always kind of have to be moving forward. You can stop and hold and deal with a wave, but then you move up, and it's all about moving up. In this game, I don't think that's the case, because what happened, so there's this mission which everyone should be familiar with because it's very early in Act 1, where you have to shoot a gas can, and then it blows up a wall, and then you run over this broken bridge, and then you get to the boat, boat, and then at the boat you got to go plant bombs and stuff. It's like near the end of the first part of Act 1. But when we did that, they shot the gas tank, and I was ready to make a break for it over the bridge, just like you would do in Left 4 Dead. But my whole team ran back and went into this little building, and they just held out there, and they murdered all the zombies. And then we just strolled over the bridge, and no zombies, like nothing. Like, so I guess the game
is a tense part of the game if you run forward.
Yeah, if you run across the bridge, zombies are coming at you, and you're trying to help like the guy who's lagging behind. And then there's always a point where you're just like, no, just leave him. He's gone. But
forget about Craig. He's dead.
And that's a part there's a map on Left 4 Dead 2 where it's just like that too. The whole level is just going over that bridge, and it's great. And that's like the way the map is supposed to be played. But in this, it seems like you are clearing the map. It's not just going to keep sending waves at you. Like if you clear an area, then you can run back to that area, and as long as you don't disrupt any birds or get puked on, then you're going to be okay.
Well, we kind of learned that when we were playing on Veteran earlier. We kept hitting that wall in the swamp, and we'd run back and we'd fight the boss or whatever, and we weren't.
The swamp of doom that we could never get past. And that wasn't even the event. After that, you get to another area, you trigger an event that's pretty difficult. Yeah, we were having a tough time. Yeah. But the other thing, too, that I realized is it's really a game of attrition. And I've noticed this in Deep Rock Galactic as well. Like, if you aren't up to snuff, if you don't have a lot of upgrades, you're just going to run out of ammo. You have low health and low ammo, and, like, you just don't have enough bullets to shoot all the bugs that are going to come at you. Yeah. And that's kind of the case in Back 4 Blood. Like, if you trigger a lot of hordes by disrupting birds or by getting puked on or not taking out the screecher guys properly, like, you're just going to run out of bullets or run out of ammo. When I was playing with these really experienced guys, we were constantly like, anyone got rifle ammo? Who's got shotgun ammo? I'm out of whatever the pistol ammo, SMG ammo is. And we were constantly just trying to like keep each other supplied with ammo. And it was quite a challenge. And we were being like, when we lost our first map, it was because we had just triggered too many car alarms and we just had too many zombies. We were taking out the zombies just fine, but at a certain point, it was just a matter of attrition. We ran out of bullets and things went south real quick.
That adds a little bit more survival to the survivor horror genre. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to think about. Were any of them playing the melee build?
No. There was a guy who was playing Doc who was very good. He knew exactly what he was doing. And then there was a guy on shotguns, and then two of us were on rifles.
Great way to save ammo.
Yeah, the melee, definitely. You can save ammo that way. But the melee build is very card dependent too, so that can be challenging. The other thing that I noticed too, there is a level in Act 2 called something worm. I can't believe I forgot it because I played it like 30 times, no joke. It's like something of the worm, and it's an incredibly short level because you run out of the gate, you fight a big ogre, and then you can just run. You can throw like a pipe bomb and then run through the rest of the horde and go into the safe house, and that's the level right there. So what's that?
Is that the one where like you literally have to run through a tunnel?
No, there's no tunnel.
Oh, okay.
It's a very short level. It's outdoors, and it's in like this area that you actually play through several times in different missions, doing different things. But what I and a lot of people have realized is that you can just keep reloading this level and playing it over and over again on
farming.
Yeah, on recruit and get 34 supply points. It's incredibly boring, but it's the best way to farm supply points.
It's not. So, it might be the fastest. Doesn't mean it's the best, dude. Like, we were getting tipsy, getting drunk. I was having a fucking blast, dude. I haven't had that much fun playing a game in so long, and it almost doesn't matter what was going on in the game for me because it was just a vehicle for me to hang out with my friends. Mm-hmm. And it was simple enough where like we didn't have to get into the weeds. But then if you go into veteran, you have to get into weeds and then you have to be sober and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like you said, you were like, I mean, I think everybody agrees that the biggest problem is there's too much of a difference between recruit and veteran.
Yeah, there's no medium
Too
difficulty.
Big, too big of a jump.
There's easy and there's
And
hard,
hard.
and then there's really hard.
Yeah. So that's the biggest problem right now. And I don't know, but you were like a drill sergeant. We're gonna get the fucking veteran done. If you turn around and try to run, I'm gonna shoot you in the head. So it's either zombies or bullets.
Dude, I was not like that.
That's
at
the
all,
way I
man.
took
I
it.
was pretty laid back.
I
man.
don't. Ooh, yeah.
No,
You're like recruit. That's boring, guys. You don't want to do recruit. That's the worst thing in the game. You wanna push yourself. Which, by the way, I did agree with you.
I wasn't pushing veteran.
You were.
I don't think I was.
Nobody else was.
No. Somebody else in the group was definitely pushing recruit. I think you're getting me mixed up with somebody we were playing with. I'm not going to name names or point fingers here, but
Hector Croy.
Croy.
Yeah, he's French.
No, but yeah, I don't think I was, because I knew what veteran was, man. I knew we weren't gonna get through that level, but sometimes it's fun to try. It's a challenge, but sometimes it's also just to kind of be on autopilot and play casually as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm still enjoying it. I farmed so much with that level and got so many supply points that I've unlocked all the cards in one supply chain. Not all the cosmetics. I found out like the last 3 rows are just like straight up cosmetics and stuff. So I've got all the cards out of that one, and I started working on the middle one. So I've almost unlocked all the ones that would help me for my healing build. And yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to get through all that and then just be like, I'm over it now.
Do you feel? I doubt it, dude. I think this game, I don't know. I think more is to come, obviously.
I really did. Like when I had that run today playing with those experienced players, and it was just like a real challenge. I had a lot of fun with that. It was probably because I had spent too much time farming that just like total mindless stuff. But
there's another level of difficulty.
Yeah, there's
that.
Nightmare after that too. But I don't know.
There's indicators that the game has things yet to add. Like there's some cards on, like text on cards and stuff that's like what is the wording? I've already seen it on some of them, but it's obviously an indicator like they're going to add new stuff or more operators and stuff.
More cleaners?
I think there's going to be DLC. There's going to be more levels.
Oh, I'm sure there will be.
I think this is going to be a well-supported game for a while.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's how they're going to get you too. They're putting it on Game Pass, and then you got to pay extra for the DLC.
All the Game Pass DLCs are pay, right? I believe so.
I want to say in Game Pass, all the games that are on there, you get the base game, and then you have to pay for the DLC. I think that's the case.
I think so too. And who cares, dude? You get 50 hours, and then you have to pay $7.99 for, some new shit.
You could pay the low price of $100 US to unlock every DLC.
Crazy.
Back for Blood Ultimate Edition.
Is there anybody that's just like always just scrolls down to the bottom and be like, "Yep, there's the one."
Ray.
Yeah.
I have money. I don't know what to spend it on. How about that?
Yeah, I bought like $100 or something version of Battlefield 4, where you would like every week you get like a golden loot box or whatever, and then you get priority queuing and joining games, and yeah, that's probably the most I ever spent on a game. But I did play a lot of Battlefield.
Yep. I linked something earlier. It was like you get Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, all the DLCs, something else, Battlefield 4, and all the DLCs for like $9.99. It was 95% off or something. Crazy.
Yeah, and you're never going to play any of those games. Like all the games you can. Remember when they released Evolve and they're like, you get a free copy of Left 4 Dead 1 if you pre-order. Like Left 4 Dead 1, not even Left 4 Dead 2. You get a free copy of Left 4 Dead 1, the game that was literally replaced by Left 4 Dead 2.
Jesus.
Like, Like literally included in Left 4 Dead 2.
Dude, nobody's done that since. Nobody's ever been like, here's part 1. Hey, success. Here's part 2. And it's better than part 1 in every single way. And just forget about part 1.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened.
Especially a year later, like barely a year later, better in every way. And then eventually they included the characters, the maps, everything from Left 4 Dead 1 in Left 4 Dead 2.
Wait, is that wait, hold up. Is my poo-poo brain not remembering this correctly? Are all the missions from Left 4 Dead 1 and Left 4 Dead 2?
They are now. Yeah.
After that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, all the characters, all the missions.
God. Oh, that's awesome.
I wish we could go one episode without talking about Left 4 Dead. I mean,
shut up.
I mean, it doesn't come up that much. It's no Magic the Gathering.
It does.
It's no.
Shut up, man.
I mean, Back 4 Blood just came out like a week and a half ago, dude. What are you gonna do?
The worst part about this podcast is Magic the Gathering because it's like cutting into all of my review time. I play it daily, every single day. I'll play in the shower, like crazy.
I mean, I play Binding of Isaac every day, but that's to spend time with my wife, and it also helps us go to sleep.
That's a nice.
Weird game to fall asleep to, but okay.
So, New World, what's going on with that, Nick?
I just want a quick update. My bread empire is still on the rise. Bread joke.
No.
I have made a total of 5,800 gold in a matter of a week. Just passively making bread and selling it.
Remind me what that means. 5,000.
So all I do is just literally buy.
No, not how you make your money. But like 5,000 gold, is that like enough to buy a house?
I don't know, Sniper. How much is 5,000 gold?
He ran away. Doesn't matter.
Oh fuck. Let's look. How much is a house in
you can't Google
New
that.
World?
Oh, there you go.
Is he back?
No, he's not back. Are you not watching the stream?
Why do we even fucking have him? You know, like why do we even have him? Cost is 5,000 gold.
Oh, so there you go. You earned a house selling bread.
Yeah, literally selling bread. Like nothing else, just selling bread.
And you're getting XP for all of this, right?
Yeah, and you get experience for it. I not only that, but like I've funded myself questing and everything. I've also gotten to the point where I've paid for all of my tools, and I'm still walking around with 6.9 grand.
Nice.
And so it's just like
can you just buy whatever weapons you want, whatever for your level?
At this point, yeah, but it's not a wise idea because I'm still leveling up kind of quick. Like this past week, I went from 29 to 40, and so if I buy a weapon for like 300 gold and level up to and it's gonna last me 3 levels, and like really, what's the point? I can just buy more corn and make more money. You know?
What percentage of that? What percentage of your leveling was bread based?
I think legitimately probably like 1.5 levels is bread.
Oh,
because I think in the past week I've baked 500 and something loaves.
Do you have a spreadsheet? Do you have a spreadsheet to like figure all this out?
I don't, but I did have to lower my price because somebody tried to fuck me.
Oh, yeah.
So before I was
watch out
selling
for
my loaves
competition,
at
dude.
25 gold, and then they started selling at 15, and I was like, "Fuck you, motherfucker! I'm selling at 10."
New World
And I'm
2.
still making money.
Who's the bread baron?
Got a price war going on here.
Yeah.
I'm the bread baron. It's me.
It's me.
Fuck everybody else's.
God, it's funny.
Bread.
All right, well, I'm glad you're having
that's
fun,
my
man.
update. I am level 40 now. I'm doing great. I just play the game literally whenever.
All I have is gold, zero equipment, tons of gold.
No, I have a lot of equipment. I
No
have
skills.
nice stuff. Everyone in the guild is so nice to me. I just want to also, I want to give a shout out to that. Give me 1 second. I gotta look up a name. Shout out to I think his name is So Arizona Luke, but in our chat it's So as Luke. Thank you for making my Star Metal tools, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Dune, man. I feel like it's been 2 years since we had a blockbuster. because obviously COVID and all that stuff. Like I really truly feel like this was a blockbuster movie.
Dude,
I heard
it's so fucking good.
everybody that I talked to saw it in the theaters and loved it. I've talked to men, women, children, like everybody fucking, not a bad word has been said. Well, I don't like this part. No, none of that. Like, it's just a runaway success.
Cool. I've
Yeah.
not seen it yet. I know a lot of people have. A lot of people talking on the Discord about this movie. It's playing on HBO Max, but it seems like a lot of people are going out to the theaters. It really is one of those movies that is a lot better in a theater. It's a theater experience. You know, it's 2.5 hours. If you're watching this at home, chances are you're going to get distracted by something. And it's just like, you know, it's one of those movies like Dunkirk or like Blade Runner where it looks better on a giant screen.
Yeah,
with good sound.
It's so goddamn good. The weirdest part is that it feels like a long movie because it is, but the pacing and how long it is completely necessary.
Well, yeah, that's the problem that they had with the David Lynch movie is they really, I didn't really like that movie until I read the book. Then I'm just like, oh, I mean, it's all up there on screen. Like everything from the book is there. They just kind of, it feels like they rushed through it a little bit because they're trying to squeeze it all into one movie. And it's just too much. I mean, it's like an epic tale. It's got the whole first half is like, you know, this big downfall. And then there's like this rising up Messiah thing in the latter part of the book, and it takes time to do that, and you can't do it too quickly, otherwise it just doesn't like resonate. So yeah, I guess this is just the first half, right? They're supposed to make a second one. I'm not sure up until what part this goes to.
I think they're supposed to do a total of 5 movies. I think they're doing 5
Here
parts.
it is. This is the part of the podcast where Nick says something and Christian falls out of his chair and starts Googling.
Christian, give me a Google, man. I need a Google.
I heard that they haven't even okayed part 2, so I haven't heard 5 parts.
I thought it was supposed to be 5 parts.
The most impressive thing that they did in this movie, for me, is the incredible amount of information that they packed into it without boring you. Like, I felt like it was done so incredibly well, where if you're paying attention, it wasn't that hard to follow. Yes, it's complex, but 2 parts.
Oh yeah.
Nick. You see that, Nick? You see that giant arrow pointing to 2 parts, Nick?
Well, I'm sure if it was,
do you see how that doesn't say 5 parts?
well, I'm sure it's 2 parts for the first book, but if they go on to the other books, maybe there'll be more.
I think, yeah, that's what it is.
Sure. Okay.
That's what it is.
Look for an escape. There it is. Go.
For the movie, they've already great movie, by the way. I totally agree with you, but they've already cut out so much from the book and the first film, and I agree with all of it. You know, I watched it with 3 inches. Like, I don't really get all this stuff, and I was like, well, yeah, they didn't have like 10 minutes of exposition to start the film to explain all this shit that you really don't need to know. So I'm happy. I'm happy with this.
Their selection of what really needed to be in there is, you know, that's a lot of, I'm not talking about video editing. I'm talking about like,
well, I heard they
story
cut out,
editing.
they left out a lot of like the psychedelic stuff that was in the book because there's a lot of like real mystical stuff in there. And I think that's pretty tough to translate.
I think that was pretty much in there. Like 2 or 3
a tiny
times.
bit, but I don't think it was like all of it.
I think they just do like quick what I heard is that they do quick I haven't seen the movie, so I can't really say, but
And maybe
from
you
the
shut
reviews,
the fuck up, Bobby.
from the reviews that I've seen,
Bobby, you don't listen to me, man. That's kind of weird.
but from the reviews that I've seen, people have said they just kind of do some quick flashbacks and like kind of handle it that way. But if you watch like the David Lynch one, there's all these internal monologues and like there's some just really, and of course it's David Lynch, so there's some really out there stuff. And even in the book, it's just quite a bit of that. But the other thing about the book is it requires, or the story itself, it requires so much world building. Like the book that I read came with a glossary, and I had to constantly figure out what the hell are these people talking about.
That's
Like they're
what I'm
using
saying, dude.
all these words that.
That's what this movie knocked out of the park. They just cut out all of the fat and just whatever's important is in. And there was like 3 hallucinogenic scenes. So I don't think they cut that out. I think everything you needed is in there. But I don't know. I don't know Dune as well as you guys do. But
can you guess which part was my favorite when they said it for the first time?
No.
The when they said Imperium. I was like, yeah.
I was just gonna say that. There's one.
Yeah, Warhammer took so much shit from Dune. It's not even funny.
There's one moment in the film that's exposition, like one, and it's where they briefly explain what the Imperium is. And I was like, oh God, because it was near the beginning. I was like, they're not going to do this, are they? They're not going to explain like every fucking little thing.
Oh,
and,
yeah. No.
And they don't. That's the only one. So I was like, oh, perfect. Awesome.
But yeah, no, yeah. For those who don't know, there's an Imperium, kind of like in Warhammer, and it's great. Just watch the fucking movie; it's great.
Yep. I wonder
Don't
what's
watch it at
the
home on
box
HBO
office total
Max.
on that, because it's been out for what, a week.
Yeah, I think you'd like the movie, Bobby.
I'm
One
sure I
of my
will.
favorite parts of the movie, and it's always my favorite parts of sci-fi movies, is the background lore of things, and it's the little things. I'm not going to spoil anything, but Sniper, you can probably get behind me on this. Is like the different classes of weapons that they have. Like when it comes to like beam-based weapons and like missile-based weapons and like the vibra shields that they have and a bunch of other shit, like just because they're not really different races, they're different versions of humans, and they all have their different economies and versions of science and shit. They all have their own different versions of weapons and stuff. I'm like, dude, this is so fucking awesome. But like there's parts of the movie where you're like, oh, they're shooting down, like there's like a spaceship fight scene, and then like, oh, these people are shooting missiles and those people are shooting lasers. That's really crazy. And it's really fucking cool. And then the other part is like when they reference a quote unquote pet, and you're like, ew, that's really gross. But yeah, all that kind of background shit, I love.
Last thing I got to say about this is while I was watching it, I was like, am I witnessing another Star Wars? Like another beginning of Star Wars? And the last time that I felt with that was when I was watching Avatar. So who knows? I hope so. I hope so.
I hope so, man. I really do hope so. I hope they spring on it faster. Like, I hope everything gets greenlit faster. They keep the cast longer. They keep everybody the same. Like they obviously keep the quality. Obviously, there was a giant speed bump or speed bumps. They delayed the movie 2 years or 3 years?
A year and a half, I think.
But dude, man, it's a great fucking movie. I'm looking for however more movies they make, whether or not they just cover the first book or all the other books after it. But
I was thinking how Duncan, when he was meeting the Freeman, that could have been a movie on its own. That could be its own like side quest movie, like its own.
The Fremen, yeah,
yeah. When Duncan went to go meet them and like introduce himself and everything, a 2-week experience. I thought, yeah, I was like,
it was weird seeing Jason Momoa without a fucking beard. I was like, oh,
dude, Jason Momoa is so fucking cool and epic that they have to kill him at the beginning of everything all the time. Like first season, first movie, you're done. You're just too cool. You're just too powerful. All right, what do we got?
It's time for listener questions.
Wait, no, we gotta plug some stuff. First of all, we just want to shout out to everybody. Come to the Discord and give us some spooky questions. We're gonna be doing some cool live stream shit for the DLG podcast, DLG Con. We're gonna have some live stream setup stuff for some tabletop and probably like a short 20 or 30-minute live stream. There's probably gonna be alcohol, a drunk Emilio, a sober Bobby, Hi, Chris, and plenty of other characters from the DLG community. But send us some cool questions. I might send in my answers if I see them before, but unfortunately, I won't be able to go because I'll be in a wedding. I'll be in San Diego.
I think Nick is off. Nick, stop talking.
Shut up.
So Halloween episode's next episode, right?
Yeah. And we do have, as we're getting into listener questions, we do have some Halloween scary game questions coming up here. But if you would like to ask us some more scary questions for our Halloween episode next week, we'll be recording possibly on Halloween, maybe the day after. The episode will come out shortly after that, though. But check out our Discord.
Somebody asked me the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. I promise a good story. Nick, we literally just went over this, and you made the same mistake twice.
Whoops.
Yeah. There's a whole week in between those two things you were talking about. So you're going to be there. Are we dressing up, Bobby? Might as well, right? Well, I already have my. I already have my costume.
Well, the thing is, you can only see us from the neck up here on the stream. So
yeah, we can easily fix that. Yeah, just have a neck up costume, Bobby. What the fuck?
Okay, well, I'll see what I got.
I know that you don't have any costumes. I know for a fact.
Why would I just have costumes, dude?
Fucking Chad has 8 costumes in his closet all times.
Community that has like costume experience, send Bobby a really nice costume, and we'll just fund it with like the DLG account or something.
Chad's the guy who's like, you need a costume?
A Deep Rock Galactic costume or something, or like a fucking Team Fortress costume, and he'll wear it.
I got a hat I could wear. I got a hat. I got an idea.
You're gonna wear your Bill hat.
My Bill hat?
Yeah.
Who's Bill?
Bill from Left 4 Dead. I thought you had that hat in real life.
Yeah, his name's not Bill though.
What?
The hat with
man?
No. Oh no. No, I have the hat from the kid in Left 4 Dead 2 with a little truck on it. The younger guy. I can't remember his name. Left 4 Dead 2.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill's the old Vietnam veteran.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to the Livingston for being on RNG with DLG this week. Great interview. We played Fall Guys, which was pretty funny seeing 2 old guys just play a young person's game.
I saw some new levels, dude. That I was like, whoa.
Yeah, cool. They're all really weird and cool and interesting. So check it out. You can see it on Twitch. We're working on transferring to YouTube, but Comcast sucks, so we're getting there.
Bobby, did you put this picture online, dude? I like it.
No, that is not me. That's pretty scary.
I was, I don't know what we were watching, but I was thinking about like how many cartoon and video game characters like have massive goggles pulled up around their head. Literally never happens in real life. Like goggles just don't, goggles don't happen. They don't. They're safety glasses, which look not as cool as that. Anyway. Yeah.
Where'd all the goggles go?
Where'd all the goggles go?
Where'd all the goggles go?
I need a gaggle of goggles.
We're living in a post-goggle world.
You need to Google where to get your goggles. Anyway.
Yeah. Christians, Google goggles real quick.
Google a gaggle of goggles, please.
Let's just see if we can find. Yeah, so you have like your normal science safety goggles.
Yeah, those are terrible.
And then you have those weird little swimming goggles that like people would wear with the little cap.
It's really the steampunk goggles those are the cool ones that the characters wear.
Yeah.
You're the only person ever to say that.
Yeah.
All right, listener questions. First one's coming from Warconius. He says, your top scary game that you played on PC, no console.
Outlast 1.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm so tired of those run and hide games, but 5, 6, 7 years ago when that game came out, that was pretty good.
Five Nights at Freddy's for me.
Yeah, everybody loved those ones. God, I'm so glad we don't have any more of those games.
Oh, there's a new one. There's not Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's a clone.
Yeah, nobody cares. That's That's the thing, dude. Like it'd be like Five Nights at Freddy's 9, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's another one." We'd all have to go through that shit again. Yeah, no, thank you. It's probably because I work with kids, man. I was so tired of that stuff. Scariest game, yeah, I really like the Outlast games. I'm trying to think of like the scariest one. I mean that one was pretty good. Right. I'm sure the Resident Evil ones.
Oh.
There's got to be. I didn't really play those ones myself, but I'm sure those ones would probably be up there.
Scrap what I said because I played it. I played Five Nights at Freddy for like more than 1 hour. I could not play Amnesia. I just couldn't.
Oh, really?
I was too scared to play, dude. Like my mouse was shaking. I couldn't do it. But I played it originally, like when it first came out. Like I always give this.
For me, like. If we're counting consoles, and I know it doesn't work, but PT was pretty fucking scary. I refuse to play it. If that game actually ever comes out, I refuse to ever play it.
That's not true.
All right, next question from Coscat. What's the game you wish more people were into, whether it's a guilty pleasure or a legitimately underrated game?
What a great question.
That's a good fucking question, man, because a lot of the games I like are already popular.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with... I know this is my answer for everything, but Binding of Isaac, I feel like a lot of people don't make that jump. Or they make the jump, and they go and they kill mom or die by mom 10 times, and they're like, I'm never going to play this again. Why would I play this? It's so hard. There's a sweet spot. There's a sweet spot between... how am I ever going to kill mom? And let me grind every ending with every character ever. There's a sweet spot right in the middle of that. Yeah. There's a sweet spot right in the middle where it's a glorious fucking game. And you just play it for fun. Because nobody's watching. Nobody cares what your opinion on the game is. It's just fun. And this is the only reason you're playing. Fun. So I feel like it's one of those things where like I can't even understand how you wouldn't like it after 20 hours or 30 hours.
Some people say they don't like it because it's not fair. I actually, the other day, because we were looking something up while we were playing, I stumbled upon a Reddit post, and it was like a joke Reddit post, and it was like it's like the cat one where it's where the cat's sitting at the end of the table, and like the blonde lady's pointing, and the brunette lady is like trying to protect the cat or whatever, and it's like when other whatever the genre of fucking game it is, what's it called?
Way to bring it home, Nick.
Oh, shut the fuck up. What is it called?
Can we move on?
When other roguelikes call your game unfair and unbalanced, and like it says like the cat's like Isaac players, and it's like, yes, but we like it.
Yeah.
Because the game really is unfair and unbalanced.
Yeah. Yeah.
And apparently that throws a lot of people off.
Organized chaos.
Yeah. But my answer to the question is Squad. Because Squad's awesome.
Well, they got a good amount of people playing that.
Yeah. Like it doesn't fall in either one of these categories, but thanks, Nick.
I don't think that many people are playing it.
That's true.
To warrant like
how good it is.
If more people were playing it, they would have more money to hire more programmers and stuff, and more of the patches were to come through. Like they've been promising this fucking Afghanistan update for so goddamn long. I mean, not Afghanistan, this fucking Australian update for like the past 2 years, and it hasn't come out, and I don't think it ever will. So we'll see.
Okay. Let's see, a game that I wish more people gave a chance. I mean, many years ago, I probably would have said Heroes of the Storm, but Blizzard probably would have drove that game into the ground regardless. So I don't know if that would have made much of a difference. But I did kind of feel like that for me was like a really good version of a MOBA that I really enjoyed.
The best version.
Well, I mean, I thought so.
That's what you
It was
thought,
like
yeah.
quick half-hour games. I'm like, this is perfect. I don't want to spend like an hour in a game and then just lose. And there were so many things that I enjoyed about it, and a lot of people were still, they had been playing League or Dota for 6+ years, and they're just like, well, no, I'm already in this camp, and they just would only find fault with it. But I mean, Blizzard didn't really help the situation with a lot of decisions they did. But recently, I kind of just wish people would give indie games in general more of a chance. Like, I wish it was more profitable for the people who made those games, because it's just, I understand that you're going to have that side of AAA gaming where it's just like a business, and we're going to crank out one of these, and we're going to have like a ton of people work on these games, and it's just going to be very generic and bland and appeal to the widest demographic. But I just wish there was a little more financial incentive for people making the smaller stuff. So yeah, buy indie games, people.
Here's the weird thing, dude. Like, is the guy who did Stardew Valley, is he a AAA developer now? Is this true? His second game, is that a triple?
No, I mean, that's a,
You know what I mean?
that's an outlier right there. It's like somebody makes this incredible game, pretty much a one-man team until later, with the multiplayer and everything. Like the later updates, he started getting a lot of help with it because he just burned himself out. But yeah, it really worked out for him. But that's like a 1 in a billion, 1 in a million right there.
Yeah, 1 in a million, I would say, yeah.
You don't really see that too often. It's nice when it does happen. Okay, next question from Zap. Which developer do you think had the biggest fall from grace? Blizzard comes to mind, as it seems every release post-Overwatch has had issues and controversy.
I'll say both Blizzard and Ubisoft. They both just got into this like rhythm of money first, not fun first. And when you're making games, it's fun first, not money first. You fucks. I just fixed the whole fucking gaming industry right there.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, dude, like that's a lot of people's jobs, and it's paying those people for work so they can like
It would have
live their
been
life
anyway.
and raise a family.
It would have been anyway, dude.
Would've
If
been
they were
what?
making fun first, if they wouldn't have gone to whoever Blizzard sold out to.
Well, I mean, there's no like
Activision.
Yeah, but there's
Which is Activision is a publicly traded company. So now you're answering to people who don't play games. Before, all you answer to is people who play games. Those are the only people you worry about. When you graduate to that next level, now you're worrying about these people that put money into your company that don't play games.
Yeah, but they get money in their company because they sell a lot of copies of the game because people like those games, dude. Like, we don't really like them, but people are buying them.
What? No. If
Wait,
there
what?
was like a trend, if you could watch a trend of the percentage of Blizzard games being bought, I've got to imagine it's on downward trend. I don't know for a fact.
Well, I mean, their MUAs are going down, but it's like they're still making a ton of money, especially for a AAA developer. But what I'm saying is, dude, like people like that's like a big business that makes AAA games, and they're providing a lot of jobs for people. And yeah, there's a lot of things that are going on that are a little shady, but at the end of the day, they are providing a lot of jobs for people. Now, indie developers are taking big risks. Like, they're going out there, they don't know how their game's going to be received. So the AAA developers, they're making the stuff that they know is going to sell. They're making the sequels and like the big budget stuff that's going to be heavily promoted and like that they know everyone's going to buy. And, all the younger generation, they're just going to buy it up. And that's fine because, I mean, there has to be that, and a lot of people are making a living doing that. But
It's uninspired.
well, yeah, because we're old and we've been through that already. You talk to like a 15-year-old, and they think like that stuff's just great. That is gaming to them. But what I'm saying is like it's not a terribly bad thing, dude, because it's like that'd be like someone coming up to you and saying like you shouldn't work for a big AAA developer country.
That's not what I'm not saying you like. Nintendo makes legitimately good AAA content, and they have been for years, and they haven't stopped. There were some like bumpy roads, and they continue, and everything's great. Once you put profits first, I believe it becomes a an issue of, they lost my brand loyalty. They lost your brand loyalty. Is that fair? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really interested in those types of games anyway.
Sure, but had they not changed their company and the focus of the company, we would still be.
Well, I think it's easy to say that they should take more risk and be more creative, but you don't really make a lot of money by doing that. Like you absolutely can, but video games are so fickle and gamers are so fickle. You don't know what the fuck they're going to like, dude. Nobody knows, except they know that if they make another Call of Duty game, a bunch of people are going to buy it. So that's what they do.
I think if Blizzard keeps going the way they're going, it's just going to get smaller and smaller. I don't think they're growing, but I'm not basing that on numbers. I'm basing that on my heart.
I don't think Activision Blizzard's going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, people are still going to be buying these games. And I mean, a lot of people are going to like get on social media and post about it and be upset about it, but I don't think it's like they're going to die out or anything. I'm sure they'll be fine, but I don't know. I feel like we've kind of got off track here.
No, I know what you're saying, but yeah, let's move on. I'm too drunk to make a poignant point.
Okay. Nick, no comment on this?
I don't know. I feel like my parents are fighting. I'm hiding in the corner. I gotta pee again.
Big company bad. I don't know. I don't really have a fight in this, or let's say in this fight.
Okay.
I'm not. I agree with Emilio. Like a lot of these companies, they don't really have a place in my heart. Like for example, like the Activisions and the whatevers. As far as what I would like to see, I'd like to see the same thing that I guess everyone would like to see again. It's like people making their dreams and what they want to see on paper, like what their passion projects are. If you want to make a game where you make root beer floats and sell them to snakes, fucking do it, dude.
Okay, you're making less sense than Emilio here.
what I'm saying is, like, I want to see games where people are making what they want to make and not Call of Duty 14. You know?
Yeah, like, Christian, you got some input here? No. Okay.
Not between these two spectacular takes. I don't think I have room.
No, I mean, I think that's like a valid concern. Like I understand where you and Emilio are coming from with that. Like I don't want to play Call of Duty games either. Like I don't care about that stuff. But at the same time, like I care about the jobs that provides for people, like the thousands of people that work on a game like that. And I also want to see people like working in their basement making cool little games too, and hopefully they're big successes. But at the same time, I'm not going to say like AAA companies are, absolutely terrible. Some of them are. I mean, they've got a lot of problems inside that definitely need to be addressed, like Blizzard and Ubisoft. But they're a business, dude. like they're making money, and the people who work for them are making money. Like if you were one of those people that were working for one of those companies, and they're just like, you know what? Guess what, guys? Nobody wants this shit anymore. We're all going making indie games. Follow your dreams. You're fired. Like you'd be like, what the fuck, dude? Like I just want to show up and do my job.
Follow your dreams. You're fired.
Follow your dreams. You're fired.
Yeah, of course. So that's one of the weirdest things about the gaming industry as a whole is you always got to worry about the jobs, right, or the people behind the game.
Yeah, and I think you can do AAA right. Like I definitely was of the mindset for a while that I thought just like AAA equals bad, but I think like it can be done right, but there's a lot of room for corruption. Obviously, when you're making that kind of money, people want all of it.
Yeah, I think you can definitely do AAA right.
Yeah, all right, but we can all agree that Blizzard is not doing it right. I think that's what it comes down to. I can't think of. I mean, Ubisoft. Yeah, that's a good answer to this question. I can't think of anybody else really though that pops into my head.
I feel like a lot of the AAA that does it right is on console. Honestly.
Oh yeah, like God of War, which I'm buying for Bobby, so he's forced to play it because somebody pays money for something else. So
was that
he's gonna have to
God of War is on PC?
It's coming to PC in a month?
Oh, that'll be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on it. It has its own Steam page now, so it's there.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty much saying all the PlayStation exclusives are coming to our PC now.
So Zap has a paranormal question. Should we save that for next week?
I don't know. I'm fine with talking about it now.
All right.
January 14th, not next month. I'm retarded.
Okay. Zap says, or he asks, do any of you have any personal experiences with the paranormal? Ghosts, chupacabras, Bigfoot?
Nay.
The most paranormal things have gotten for me, and this is like a real answer. I'm not just like throwing something out there because there's an answer, but psychedelics. I've taken so much psychedelics that I thought, or I feel like I opened the door into another dimension. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm not 100% sure that I didn't. If it, you know what I mean? Like, it's not 100% sure that like it was just a trip in my mind. I don't know that these chemicals don't allow you to just open parallel universes. I'm not 100% about that at all. So, yeah, I would call that paranormal. But besides all that other stuff, no. But I have a great story. I'll tell next. I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, but it's the night that I was more scared than I've ever been in my whole life. Yeah.
Bobby? Interesting.
No, because ghosts aren't real. Hate to break it to you guys.
Well, Bigfoot?
They're not real. Bigfoot.
Aliens?
Maybe. Aliens, I don't know, maybe. Chupacabra. God, I remember when I was really young.
Chupacabra?
That chupacabra thing?
Did you guys ever see the Red vs. Blue cartoons?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course, man.
There was one of those episodes, I can't remember what the context was, but one of the guys says, El Chupa Libre, or something like that. He was talking to one of the other guys, and I don't know, that came up. Anyway, no, I've never had any paranormal experiences. There is one haunted place in San Diego called the Whaley House. You can go take a tour of it. It's not that scary. It's this really, really tiny house. The scariest thing about it is like how people possibly lived in those tiny, tiny rooms. I think it used to be a courthouse too. It's like, how would you conduct business in this tiny little room? It's like a bathroom.
It's a logistical nightmare more than anything else.
Yeah, but I remember when I was young, a friend of mine was telling me about all these paranormal experiences he had, and I can't remember all of them, but they were all pretty ridiculous. One of them was that he was watching TV late at night, and then words popped up on the screen that said good night, and it turned off. And I'm like, oh, that is kind of weird. That's spooky. And then I was really young. So one day I'm like in my room watching TV and I'm playing around with it. And I realized there's a sleep timer button. So I hit sleep timer. I'm like, okay, like 15 minutes. Cool. And then after 15 minutes, the words pop up and they say good night. And my TV turns off. So I'm like, okay, well, your TV wasn't haunted, dude.
Bobby was a fun spoiler even back then, man.
One of my first girlfriends has a paranormal story, and I 100% believe her. Yet I don't believe in whatever she told me.
Paranormal.
Maybe I'll tell that one on the next episode.
Okay.
Ooh, next episode's shaping up to be a good one, guys.
I feel like we should have just saved this question if you're saving all these answers here. I'll tell you what does scare me though is like anything having to do with like possession or the devil or things like that. Just because of like being raised in a church, I think like I'm a little more prone to that. And I remember,
what? Are you kidding me, dude? Really?
Yeah, I mean, it all seems ridiculous, right? But then, like, you see the tapes of like these people being possessed, or like, you can go down the YouTube rabbit hole and listen to like the old tapes of like people performing an exorcism or like some lady that's possessed, and who knows if like how valid it is. But I remember one time in church there was like a youth leader who was talking about his experience of when he was young and some other kid being possessed and like speaking in strange tongues and stuff, and it like freaked me out a whole lot. But I don't know. I know that stuff's pretty ridiculous, but like that's always like the scariest movies to me are always those possession movies.
When I was younger, not anymore, but when I was younger, it was all about like short men watching me in bed, like aliens, like small. It was never like a big monster. I was like, I don't care. A big monster, I could jump out of the way or whatever. But a fucking something, a diminutive 3-4 foot thing just watching me at night. That would,
like a gnome or something, or like
aliens. They're not supposed to be that tall. But
aliens,
then, but anything.
You know, there's a movie that was a found footage movie in the 80s, and it wasn't very popular, but it's got to be the first found footage movie because
Blair Witch was not the first found footage?
No, but believe it or not, I mean, it was the first big popular one. But yeah, there you go. The garden gnome's coming to get you. There's a Goosebumps book about that. But there's this movie called The Mcpherson Tape, and it's pretty ridiculous if you watch it now. It's like somebody using like a home video recorder from the 80s, and the aliens look pretty damn ridiculous. But it's pretty short. It's on Shudder. You could check it out. It might even be on Tubi for free, or YouTube. But it's about that, like these people are like having a birthday party at their house, and like they see something off in the distance. They go to investigate. They see like a spaceship, and they freak out and run back, and then they just get stalked by aliens the whole movie. Yeah.
I have a garden gnome. I have a garden gnome story. Around the corner from here, there's a guy who has a garden gnome like thing. There's like a train. It's like a garden gnome garden, I guess. There's garden gnomes everywhere. There's got to be 50 garden gnomes in his yard. So 3 years ago, I was in like the 99-cent store, and I saw a zombie gnome, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect for that guy." I don't know him, but I see his garden of garden gnomes all the time. So I knock on it. No, I don't. Do I knock on it? I knock on the door. Nobody answers. There's 3 cars in somebody was home. They just ignored me. I put the zombie gnome, which is pretty cool. It wasn't like a shitty gnome. I put it right there in front of his, his doorstep. There's no way he can miss it. I'm like, cool. Mission accomplished. Left. I've walked by there every single time I walk my dog from now on, never seen that gnome. So I think he threw my gnome right in the garbage, dude. So like,
your gnome's not cool enough for
Yeah. Somehow my gnome that I thought was pretty cool wasn't cool enough for garden gnome guy. So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he thought like it was evil or something like that. I don't
Maybe.
know. People are really weird about gnomes. Saw a King of the Hill episode about that. I know I've told this story on the podcast, but it's probably been years. But when we're talking about things that scare us, my favorite thing to always bring up is this episode of Scary Sleepover with Adam Green that I watched like years ago. So Adam Green, he's this director. He made a movie called Frozen. No, not that one. One about people on a ski lift that gets stuck in the middle of the night and then slowly freeze to death. And then get stalked by wolves. But he directs a lot of these scary movies. And he used to do this show called Scary Sleepover, where he'd have like, scream queens or like people from horror movies come over, and they'd like pretend like they're having a sleepover, watch a scary movie, and then they'd talk about stuff. And he'd always ask him, so what scares you? And, the scream queens would be like, ooh, spiders, ooh, the dark. And then he had Sid Haig on there, which everybody would remember as Captain Spaulding from A House of a Thousand Corpses,
Oh, yeah, that old.
You don't know that movie? Don't you like clowns?
No, not at all, man.
Or he tells a kid, if you can't tell me, what does he say? He says, if you can't tell me one good reason why you don't like clowns, I'm going to come out here and shoot you in the face. And they do it usually when they shoot something like that and there's like a kid and an adult, like they cut it up so the kid doesn't have to be there. But it's just like they're in the same frame, and he's just like, I'm going to shoot you and your whole fucking family, like right in the kid's face.
Christ.
But anyway, Sid Haig, he was in some Tarantino movies. You'd recognize him if you saw him. He died recently. But anyway, Sid Haig's on Scary Sleepover, and they're talking, and they get to the question, so what do you think's scary? And it's not spiders or the dark. He looks right at him, and he goes, the fact that we're trillions of dollars in debt to the Chinese, and the government thinks that we don't know about it, but I know. And he goes on this whole rant. I'm just like, yeah, dude, that is such an old man answer. Because if you ask me, what are you scared of? I'm just like, it's all like, I don't know, work, finances, like things like that. It's not spiders or the dark. It's like real life shit. Like, and this is exactly what this guy's bringing to the table here.
It's like when Clint Eastwood won like Best Picture or something, and he went up there and just did this whole one-man monologue where he pretended to be
Was that the chair thing?
The chair thing.
Yeah.
Where he talked to Obama, like an invisible Obama. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, we get weird when we're old.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were born old though, so.
Yeah. Zap has another question here. He says, "Do you think extraterrestrials are real, and have they visited Earth?"
Dude, this is all for next week.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is our Halloween episode now, because technically our next episode comes out in November. So
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of doing like the Halloween show post Halloween. Sorry, we can be spooky on both.
You're making me choose. This is a thing that I've never. I don't know. You watch Ancient Aliens season 1, and you're like, obviously aliens are real. There's no way around it. And then there's like Ancient Aliens debunked, and then it goes back and forth and back and forth. I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50 on the whole thing. Well, I do believe they exist on other planets that we have no contact. Whether or not they've been here is where I'm 50-50.
But didn't they just say they found life on Venus?
I agree with you.
Not recently?
Yeah, or they said there's a possibility that life could exist on Venus, like the atmosphere could support a certain kind of creature, something like that. I don't know. But, these are like, it's like on Mars. It's like when they find a life, it's like bugs or something.
It's not even bugs. It's usually bacteria.
Yeah.
Like life.
The strange thing that would ever happen is like if we ever found bacteria and it wasn't carbon based, that would make everybody shit their pants.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't usually ponder these questions too much anymore. I'm too worried about the Chinese.
Chinese, man.
That's so funny.
Okay, Zap asks, who's your favorite horror villain or monster?
Ooh. Dude, I love fucking werewolves. I've always loved werewolves.
Fuck you. You ruined werewolves for me from as a young child.
Why?
You piece of shit. You took me to go see American Werewolf in Paris when I was 7. You know how traumatizing that is for a 7-year-old?
Now, are they your
In
favorite?
Paris or London?
London.
Okay, that's a good movie.
That's a great movie. Congratulations.
I'm not supposed to see boobs and or people get ripped apart when you're 11 and 7.
You're welcome, dude.
God. Yeah, the gore in that movie was so well done. And that was like, this movie was like groundbreaking for transformation scenes. Like we had never seen a transformation like that.
No, not this one in Paris. The one I was like 7. You took me to the theater, so it wasn't London.
Yeah, it was the newer one.
The newer one.
Yeah, this one came out in like 1981.
So, Nick, it's funny because
I was 5.
This is one of the most transformative days of your, and for me it was like Thursday. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even remember. I remember taking you to a movie ever, and for you, you're like, I can't look at things with fur now.
There's an M. Bison quote from the old Street Fighter movie where Chun-Li's like, "You killed my whole family," blah blah blah, and M. Bison repeats the same thing back, and he's like, for that day was the most important day of your life, but for me, it was just Tuesday.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you're an asshole. I begged to go to the movies with you. And you took me to see that shit.
Well, there you go, dude.
Worst uncle ever.
All right, so werewolves.
What about you, Bobby?
I don't know. I talked about on a Movies on the DL episode. I talked about how much I liked the Saw villain, Jigsaw.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I thought that was really creative, and we haven't really had like a series or a franchise, a horror franchise like that since, where you got like 8 or 9
Isn't
movies
he
out
coming
of it.
back?
Well, dude,
He's always coming back. Yeah, they had one
Spiral,
last year,
right, with Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's anti-villain, or there's anti-heroes, but he's almost like an anti-villain in a little way.
Yeah, because he's kind of a complicated character, morally gray, if you will.
I guess Magneto too is also like a anti-villain because he's fighting for the justice of the mutants.
Yeah, it's a whole moral quandary.
Yeah.
For me, it's zombies. I fucking love zombies, man. They fucked me up as a kid, like morally. I mean, not morally, but like mentally, because my parents thought it was a good idea to let me look at zombie movies when I was a kid. And It fucked me up pretty bad, and still love them. And yeah, some of my favorite movies are zombie movies. Like one of my favorite comedies is Shaun of the Dead. I watch like every Halloween.
Sniper, whatever this is, send it to me. I need to look at that, whatever that is that you're looking at right now.
The spaceship comparison chart?
Yo, dude, it's fucking awesome.
Dude, you know what's even better? There's a YouTube channel that shows the 3D versions of each one.
Ooh, I've seen those videos.
There's one where he updates it every year where it shows like different universes and stuff now.
Where we at?
That is the end of the listener questions. So what's everybody playing next week?
I said that I wasn't going to play anymore because I thought of Riftbreaker because I thought that we were done. But if there's another week, it's a good game. It's pretty. It's fun. I just saw the depth of it and it scared me. Like I looked and I was like, oof, there not only is there a rabbit hole, there are several rabbit holes you can go down strategy wise. And it just goes on and on and on and on. It almost feels like a Civ game that's also like they are billions. Yeah.
Darkest Dungeon 2.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably going to play Rift Breaker. Going to be playing that this week. And I don't know. I want to continue with Eternal Cylinder, but I also kind of want to play Dark Side Detective 2, or the second season of that, because that's a little more in line with the Halloween season. I really want something that's a little more lighthearted, not like trying to be super scary or like these run and hide simulators. And I love those. What were the games with the trick-or-treating kids?
Oh,
God, I can't believe I forgot the name of that.
Costume Quest.
Costume Quest. Yeah. I love those games and I don't want to replay them. And there's not a third one. So I don't know. I'm looking for something that's kind of got that tone to it. And I think Dark Side Detective 2 would be like that. It's been a while since a point and click adventure game too. So
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it for me. I talked myself into it.
Hey, Sniper.
Oh, and Killing Floor 2.
Sniper, can we get a list of everything we talked about? Do you have it somewhere?
Yeah, it's right there.
So I can go over it. Okay, so on the radar was Haunted Chocolatier, Stolen Realm, Crimson Vow, Darkest Dungeon 2, Inscryption. Bobby, I think you should play that. Killing Floor 2, Deep Rock Galactic. Highlights was Deep Rock Galactic, Binding of Isaac, Back for Blood, New World, and the movie Dune. Nick, did you say what you were going to play?
Yeah, I said Darkest Dungeon 2.
Okay. You should be playing Riftbreaker because that's what we agreed on.
I will play Riftbreaker then.
Speaking for Bobby, Chris, Nick, Emilio, and myself. Riftbreaker titties, everybody. Bob. Boops, boops, and boobs. I know I counted myself twice. It was part of the joke, you fucks.
It was funny.
Thanks.